What's up, family? How's everyone doing out there? Man, I got to tell you, lots going on. Supposed emergency cancellation of Harris and Biden's trips. They raced back to the White House with a motorcade, sirens going off. It's all over X. I'm being told that there could be many reasons. First one, I don't think it's anything with Biden's health. I think this has to do more with the government shutdown, from what I'm being told. They could even leave today, tomorrow, on back to the trip, so there's no reason to get riled up. But I got a report on what's developing, so I don't know if it's a big reason or a big thing or anything like that, but as of right now, it looks like last night they just they headed back to the Washington, the White House, and I'm going to get more into that. I talked to Juanito today about that. And there's a lot going on, especially in California. There's been reports and videos surfacing of a huge craft flying around Los Angeles. I don't know if you've seen the videos of this, but it looks like a triangular craft flying around L.A. No idea what's going on with that, but there's, this probably goes hand in hand with the drones. Also saw a state of emergency Newsom put out for the H1N1 bird flu. That's still developing. I don't know if they're going to use that card. There's some potential plays happening here that I'm looking at, but I can't say with any kind of certainty what's going to happen. I'm expecting to go all the way to January 20th. I'm not going to say, the big expectation for me was the halt on the election. I thought that's the card they would play. They didn't play that card, so now I'm starting to think, well, we may just go all the way to inauguration, and then Trump inherits a big shitstorm of problems. That's where I think that a lot of my guests disagree, but that's where I'm putting my bets now, man. That's where I'm putting my bets now. Folks, you can Venmo me, 𝗑_Rod1977. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. 𝗑_Rod1977. If you feel like, a little gift here and there, I love it. I don't mind it at all. The grifter. Thanks for the super chats. I also feel thank you. Last night we seen a lot of drones in San Bernardino, California. Yeah, I think this activity is going to pick up. I think it's going to pick up when the lights go out on Amazon. When the lights go out on Amazon, leave an honest review. My mama's book, The Mexican Mix. And let me knock this out, folks. Chuck Norris. Have you ever wondered what happened to the legendary Chuck Norris? You know what's really weird about this commercial is that I was actually wondering about whatever happened to Chuck Norris. And the next thing that happens, this agency gives me the Chuck Norris morning kick commercials to read. And I was like, really? That's weird, because I was just thinking about that dude. Like, whatever happened to Walker, Texas Ranger? I don't know. Anyway, I recently saw a video he made, and I was shocked, folks. He's in his 80s and still kicking butt and working out and staying active. What's even more shocking is he's stronger, can work out longer, and even has plenty of energy left over his grandkids and probably other things. He did this just by making one change. He says he still feels like he's in his 50s. His wife even started doing this one thing too, and she's never felt better. She says she feels 10 years younger. Her body looks leaner, and she has energy all day. Chuck made a special video that explains everything. Make sure you watch it by going to chuckdefense.com/Nino or by clicking on the link below this video. It will change the way you think about your health. Once again, that's chuckdefense.com/Nino or click on the link in the description box below to watch the video now. You won't believe how simple it really is. Just a reminder, folks, this is crazy. The legendary Chuck Norris is a whopping 84 years old, and yet has more energy than me. He discovered he could create dramatic changes to his health simply focusing on 3 things that sabotage our body as we age. Watch his method just by clicking on the description box below. It's really kind of crazy. I don't know how you guys feel about this. It's really kind of crazy to see like my old idols and the old like masculine movie stars, just anybody really get old. I was watching and I'm a big fan of Sylvester Stallone. I was watching 𝗀𝗃𝗁. Someone in the chat told me to watch 𝗬𝗏𝗂𝗁 King, and I started watching it. And it's a great, I like it. It's a little on the cheesy side, but you can tell he's still got that 85-esque type of script writing. Like if this was bad, he still brings the 1980s into his scripts, but it's entertaining. I would say watch 𝗬𝗏𝗂𝗁 King with Sylvester Stallone. And I mean, I gotta say, yeah, Sly looks good. He looks really good. That guy cares about his image, and nothing has ever been handed out to that guy. I really admire Sylvester Stallone, and gosh, man, what a remarkable human being. I mean, the fact that he does everything on his own. But I would suggest if anyone's bored one night and you want to watch something good, check out 𝗬𝗏𝗂𝗁 King. It's pretty good. I like it. Let's set the ghetto timer, folks. Ghetto timer. Is it working? Yeah, it's working. My ghetto timer. So Spotify Nino's Corner, Telegram Nino's Corner, Getter Nino's Corner, Rumble Nino's Corner, Truth Social David Rodriguez Boxer, TikTok and IG Nino's Corner.tv or Nino's Corner TV. Patriotwear.com. Bing, right there. Get some shirts, hats, and some socks. Nino's Corner.tv is fire, folks. So Nino's Corner.tv, I got Tim Hale and Cynthia Hughes right now talking about the J6. You know what really happened, and it's really interesting because Tim Hale goes into how he spent his days in solitary confinement. What was it like inside prison? Antifa inside prison, admitting what they did, like completely just blatantly telling this guy what they did. You got to go to Nino. I don't even want to say it on here on 4F2, but it's on Nino's Corner.tv, and it's fire. And it's up there right now. I mean, everything you need to know, really. I mean, people are still getting arrested for this, by the way. People are still getting their doors knocked down, FBI coming in and getting arrested. I cannot wait till 𝗏𝗏𝗶𝗃 gets in there and drops the hammer on these people, man. Judge Joe Brown is today. Judge Joe Brown, the Honorable Joe Brown, is today on the General's tent. You can still sign up and get on there now for the discount. There's a Black Friday special happening that's going through the end of this month or until after Christmas, and then it's over. You get grandfathered in, by the way, so take the time to do it because I might do a price bump next year. But you will be grandfathered into Nino's Corner.tv if you go there now. General's tent at 5 p.m. today. I got to send Judge Joe Brown the link. He'll be taking your questions. So whatever you got to ask the Honorable Judge Joe Brown about the Hunter Biden. He saw the Hunter Biden laptops. He saw 3 of them. He also knows about the Diddy scandal. He knows a lot about Kamala Harris. Let me tell you, he knows a lot. The casting couch of Kamala. So he'll talk about all that. And where he thinks this is all going. Christopher Keys, thank you, Cindy Shipley. Christopher Keys coming on today to talk about this and how all of a sudden when you take it, you start craving your own sex. That's what he says. I kind of think it's possible. I think maybe what they're giving children at a very young age kind of makes them a little, hey, like that. And I think it can happen. I think it's possible. I think I'm open to it. I'm very open to it. I've thought about it. You've heard Alex Jones talk about it, about the frogs. So what are they really giving our children? I don't know. We'll talk about it. Christopher Keys coming on to talk about it. I got Joshua Reed coming on. Ismael Perez is coming on, talking about the Galactic Federation, the wars in the heavens. What's going on? What are these drones? What the fuck was that thing flying around in L.A.? Folks, it was out there right downtown L.A. Did you guys not see this? This triangular shit. See, they're getting ready to play it. They're getting ready to play. I've been talking about the alien car for 4 years, even when everyone was like, this guy's crazy. No, I'm not. I'm just so ahead of the ball that it seems like I'm crazy. But David, you are crazy. Yes, I know. Okay, I know it. You don't have to tell me nothing. So my dad's home. My dad's home. It's nice to have him home. He's relaxing. He's sleeping a lot, man. He didn't sleep at all in the hospital. Get me the fuck out of here. You know, you do when you get, I'm just going to say this. I'm just going to say it. But I do think something happens when, especially men get older. My dad just turned 90. I do think they get it more perverted. He kept looking at all the nurses. Hey, look at the ass on that. I'm like, Dad, I'm Sancho, not you. But, you know, hey, what am I going to tell him? No, Dad. No. I mean, you're 90. You're perverted, and it's okay. You still got blood coursing through your veins. I don't know. I mean, seriously, I was very, I was like, wow, it just shows me it never goes away. It never goes away. It just stays in you. And it just, I don't know. I didn't say anything. I just let my old man. It's kind of funny, to be honest with you. I was just kind of sitting there going, wow, damn, you're dirty. You're a dirty, dirty old man. You know, you remember that Jackass segment where they do Dirty Grandpa or something like that? Merry Christmas, Nino. You are a gift. Oh, thank you. Where he's walking around the store or something and his balls are hanging out of his shorts and the dog comes up and starts grabbing it and tugging it. You guys remember that on Jackass? My dad doesn't give a shit. The older you get, they don't give a shit. They don't care. Like, I already don't care. Can you imagine me when I'm old? Fuck. I mean, I'm going to be like, fuck you. I don't know. They'll probably commit me to a psychiatric ward. I don't know. But I will say, if you're lucky enough to have family this Christmas, God bless you. And if you're not, hang in there because, you know, things always get better. There's always tomorrow. So, you know, I got to tell you, the ICU is a very sad place to be during the holidays because there's a lot of lonely people in there. David Wilcox coming on. Juanito 𝗬𝗏 coming back on pretty soon. I got to schedule David Wilcock, actually. I want to talk UFOs and drones with David Wilcock. Can I get a thumbs up for David Wilcock? All right, folks, you might want to turn it down or turn it up, baby. Yeah. Coming at you live from the apocalypse, baby. Oh, yeah. Smack that ass. Look at the ass on that. Jeez. So, apparently, Biden and Harris have canceled their holiday trips, at least for now. This is still developing. And raced back to the White House, I think it was last night. I think there's video of this on X. And so it looks to me like something's brewing. Now, could it be just for the government shutdown? A lot of people won't get paid for the Christmas holidays. I kind of think that's what it is. I talked to Juan. That's what he thinks it is. He's getting some intel on it. But I think it's beginning, and I think a lot of us have PTSD. I think most of us here have PTSD, and we're anticipating something. Now, I don't want to keep jumping the gun, right? That's not what I want to do. I don't want to be Chicken Little. Gosh, it's hard, especially living in today's time and day and age. But I think something's brewing, folks. I just do. That's just a gut feeling. Now, I don't know which way this is going to go. I don't know which way the cookie's going to crumble. But I don't know. They had to haul us back to the White House. And who knows from there. So I'm going to get more intel on this. And I'm probably going to talk to Juan 𝗬𝗏 today and discuss it on what's going on. But as all this is unfolding, as all this garbage is unfolding, the Democrats, specifically The View, the hosts from The View, okay, begin now with these new wild conspiracy theories claiming that Elon Musk is actually the true president and J.D. Vance and Elon are kind of conspiring to overthrow Donald Trump. And I don't know if you guys saw this. It was on Fox. It was on a few other networks. But, you know, this is their last resort. This is like what they kind of have to do at this point. This is what desperate people look like. They're sore losers, folks. I don't think Elon is bad. I think Elon's a good guy. I think Vance is a good guy. But I'm not going to dismiss the fact that there's something weird about the whole situation. I'm not going to dismiss that fact. I think there is something very strange about Elon's presence. He's a very powerful guy. And my question is, and always has been, who's behind Elon? Look, folks, I'm a busy guy. I'm a workaholic. And I can barely hold down taking care. You add in all the personal problems in life, everything. I can barely hold down outfitting my own podcast, putting together my own podcast, coming out here Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and doing shows every day. I can barely hold that together while taking care of my parents and working out in the gym. How the fuck does Elon do what he's doing? There has to be a huge machine behind this guy, and I believe he's the poster boy. Now, that's just my opinion. I've heard some things from my guests, right? But it seems to me like, I don't know. There's a machine, there's other people behind him, and they're using him as the poster boy. So who really is? Look, I'd love to meet Elon. I think he's probably the nicest guy. I bet you he looks like he loves his kids. But I'm just saying there's something here that doesn't add up to me, folks. I don't shooting rockets into space, creating his own internet, satellites, owns the Platform X. He's like the modern day Iron Man, and it's kind of fucking, I don't know, it raises some red flags to me. And I don't know about you, but it does that to me. So I don't know. But the talk show hosts on The View have concluded that Elon and J.D. Vance are involved in a conspiracy to they've even said maybe assassinate, not in so many words, but assassinate Donald Trump? ? Many liberals believe Elon is truly leading the charge as Trump and Vance take a back seat, and they basically sold out to Elon to guarantee or secure the win. But many liberals are now believing even something more sinister is at play, and that is an assassination attempt on Trump could be being manufactured by these two, and I totally disagree with this. Thanks for the info analysis, Nino. Thank you. Thanks for the super chat. But my big question is, and always will be, who is Elon Musk? I'm not saying he's a bad guy, but who's behind him? Who's behind Elon? That's my big question. That's just what I want to know. Because I know that you all have seen Kanye West, his post, when he posted that picture of Elon getting squirted in the face by, I don't know who it was. Someone will know who it is. Put it in here. Who was the guy squirting Elon with the water bottle? And then Kanye put up something like, this is who Elon answers to, or something along those lines. You all know what I'm talking about. I may be getting all the words. Yeah, you know who I'm talking about. Okay. Musk is part of the Galactic Federation. Well, that's great. See, I disagree on this. I think this whole alien card thing, are they going to be real aliens? I don't know. They could be, but I still think it's going to be deception. I think too many CIA whistleblowers have come out and talked about this. I think the Bible has talked about this. I believe the gray aliens are nefarious. I think they're bad. I think they're deceitful, and I think they're going to play that card, and it could be them playing it. Are they from another planet? Are they from another dimension? Are they from fucking hell? Is that other dimension what we would call hell? I don't know, but there's something to this, and I think David Wilcock and 𝗬𝗵𝗶𝗶 will help me clear that up. I know they have their outlooks on stuff, so I don't know. So this is all just, for me, is I think there's levels to this shit. And as Trump picks Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to be the Department of Health and Human Services Secretary, this could promise to be a living hell for RFK as well. Because I think they're going to try to nullify him, nullify RFK and Trump by making this presidency a complete disaster. And that's why I've always said they've got to come in unconventionally. If there's anybody new here, please give a thumbs up. We welcome you with open arms. I ask that you please, if you like my podcast, you appreciate what I do, please give it a thumbs up or like the video. We're only at 895 and there's 4,000 something people here. Please like the video. Do a little gesture for me. Like the video and share it. Share the hell out of this video. I think they're going to try to nullify him. I think that's a card they're going to play. I think doing something before the inauguration, although many of my guests feel like big chance it will happen. I think they're going to just make this presidency a disaster because you really don't want Trump coming in unconventionally, especially if there's that type of safety. Why not play these 4 years out and make it to where he can do nothing and then insert someone like get the hysteria around their Democratic savior? Just saying. That's kind of what I would do. But nonetheless, I think they're going to throw one after another infectious disease at RFK and Trump, like measles, whooping cough, bird flu, or worse. The you know what can roar back with a vengeance, the boogeyman. And what's happening right now? Well, what's happening right now, and I'm going to go through this timeline here, is that the White House is in crisis, ? Biden and Harris canceled Christmas trips and rushed back amid speculation of an emergency. Now, I don't know. The news may be covering it right now, and it may be nothing. This is what happened last night. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris abruptly canceled their holiday plans on Friday, fueling speculation about an ongoing emergency at the White House. As per various reports, neither has issued a public statement, leaving the nation guessing about the sudden changes. Now, I heard Biden went back. He's okay. I heard Biden is walking from the copter or whatever the fuck. Biden, who was expected to spend Christmas in Delaware, reportedly returned to Washington, D.C., taking his motorcade directly from the airport to the White House late in the evening. Similarly, Harris canceled her planned flight to California and stayed in the Capitol. Harris had planned to be in L.A. Until Monday, but her offices provided no reason for the last-minute cancellation, leaving many to wonder if the political turmoil over the government's funding was the cause and the deadline for a potential. So it could be the government shutdown. Could it be? Then California has declared a state of emergency over the bird flu, and it's about right on time. So California Governor Gavin Newsom declared a state of emergency on Wednesday in response to growing concerns about a bird flu case or bird flu cases, plural, in that state. Meanwhile, on the same day, the country's first severe case of the virus was reported in Louisiana. Here's what we know so far about the bird flu and why it has become so serious. The emergency declaration on Wednesday was made after several more dairy cows tested positive for the bird flu in Southern California. So cattle is carrying this. And you know what I've always said? They're looking for a reason to get rid of your beef. And I'm going to come on later today, and I'm going to show you where I get my meat, where I get my beef. So don't miss it. I'm going to come on tonight. I'm really endorsing a company where I get all my meat. They send it right on time to my doorstep, comes to my door, and I put it, and I bought an extra freezer. I bought an extra freezer to store my meat where I put my meat. I think my skin's looking better from that red light therapy, by the way. I'm looking at myself in the camera. I'm like, you know what? I like it. It's looking all right. I'm using the red light therapy every day, and I'm digging it, and I have a lot of energy. All right, so Newsom has said declaring a state of emergency would make funds available to streamline and expedite efforts to tackle an outbreak. Since bird flu was detected in dairy farms in the United States in 2022, it has spread to hundreds of herds of cattle in 18 U.S. states and caused infections in some dairy farm workers, all of which have been mild so far, except for these cases that are now developing. So this is getting interesting. So what's going to happen with, of course, it's going to start in California first with Newsom, right? And I mean, how many people are going to buy into this time? How many people are going to take this hook, line, and sinker? I think quite a few, because there's a lot of hypochondriacs out there. But will you fall for it again? I don't think I never fell for it the first time. So my question is to you all, are you all going to fall for it again? Talk show hosts on The View have concluded that Elon Musk and J.D. Vance are involved in a conspiracy to assassinate Donald Trump. This is from General MC News. They didn't come out and say it, but they were kind of roundabout way talking about it. FAA bans drones over parts of New Jersey, threatens deadly force for imminent security threat. The Federal Aviation Administration has temporarily banned drone operations over parts of New Jersey until mid-January, and warned that the government may respond with deadly force against drones that pose a threat. Beginning on Wednesday and through January 17th, unmanned aircraft are barred from flying within a nautical mile of specified airspace outlined in the FAA Notice to Airmen on NOTAM. The government may use deadly force against the drones if they present an imminent security threat. This is escalating nicely, isn't it? We only got, how long do we have? A month? We have a month until the inauguration. Fuck, a lot of stuff could happen in a month. The View co-host Whoopi Goldberg says Elon Musk and Donald Trump's real vice president is not J.D. Vance and should sell his social media platform X. So they're saying it's Elon Musk. Whoopi Goldberg, co-host of The View, recently stirred up controversy and claimed that Elon Musk is effectively Donald Trump's real vice president, not J.D. Vance. During an episode of the ABC talk show, Goldberg suggested that Musk's influential decisions and actions made him more like a second in command than just a business owner of the social media platform X. Goldberg raised the point that Elon Musk should be required to sell X due to his growing role in the Trump administration. Man, they hate this guy, huh? They seriously hate this guy. All right, let me knock out this next commercial, folks. Stay with me. And guess what it is? Canoladine, folks. Yep, it is. If you're suffering from daily aches and pains, please listen closely. Top medical experts have unveiled a natural pain reliever that is changing the way Americans fight pain. And it's 100% drug-free. That's the big word here. Canoladine. Canoladine is the only solution in the world that optimizes your body's natural painkillers called endorphins, providing full-body relief without dangerous pills or known side effects. Over 1 million Americans and hundreds of professional athletes, including UFC fighters, have already embraced Canoladine's pain relief power. Best of all, Canoladine is legal worldwide, certified drug-free, and does not cause side effects, grogginess, or addiction. After 14 years of clinical research, it has been proven safe and effective, backed by thousands of successful use cases from other Americans just like you. Best of all, today, if you do it today, you can try Canoladine for less than $1 a day. This is your opportunity to finally live pain-free, and it works. It really does. And I think it helps with, for me, I feel like it helps with the depression. And you all know I'm going through a lot. You all know I'm going through a lot. Click on the link below to try the only Canoladine product in the world risk-free for a full 90 days. Hit the link, trycono.com/Nino. Experience daily pain relief with Canoladine. You have nothing to lose except your pain. All right, folks, let's get into this. All right. So here comes the wild conspiracy theories of the left, and they're not going to stop. And this is pretty much all they have in their arsenal at this point. And it's really pathetic to watch, to be quite honest with you. Especially Whoopi Goldberg. I mean, she just does not stop. She really has a vendetta against Trump. She hates, and you know what I think it is? A lot of it. I think a lot of people hate masculine men. I think they dislike alpha male personalities. Shot callers, they just get very triggered and they're very offended by these people, these type of men. You know who really put their foot in their mouth was Mark Cuban. That guy really Sat on a big. He got mud all over his face, didn't he? He even publicly apologized. Mark Cuban. He does look like Rachel Maddow. I wonder if they trade spots. Rachel Maddow. Oh, boy. Okay, Elon Musk called president as Trump follows in his footsteps. Oh, God. Democrats and some Republicans are calling Elon Musk the real president after he led the charge against a Republican-backed government funding bill, possibly sending the government into shutdown over the holidays. Lawmakers are lining up to attack Donald Trump and Musk after they came out against a short-term spending compromise orchestrated by Republican House Speaker Mike Johnson to keep the government open until the president-elect's new term. The spending bill would have included nearly $100 billion in aid. Isn't it crazy how, like, Trump and Elon right now are already calling the shots? You guys notice this? He's not even in office yet, and he's telling everybody what to do. This, I don't know, man. This is pretty, I don't think I've ever seen this before. Have you all? I mean, they're already calling the shots. I'm just saying. But Johnson may now be forced to cut nearly $100 billion in aid from the bill. Trump and Musk blocked the measure. Shutting down the government, which doesn't actually shut down critical functions, is infinitely better than passing a horrible bill, Musk wrote in one of the dozens of ex-posts railing against the continued resolution. So this is getting interesting. So is that why you think the emergency, Debbie Kennedy, thank you very much. You bought the red light. If you purchase the red light therapy panels, okay, I am not involved with this company. I received my panels. I've been told they're back ordered. There's so many orders that have come in. They're trying to ship them out on time, is what I've been told. Reach their customer support. I'll tell them to come into the chats and do whatever they got to do. But if you order the red light panels, I'm being told there's so many orders that have come in. They're just back orders, and it's the holiday season, and they're trying to get them out. That's what I've been told. So, okay. So after Trump-backed bill fails, Johnson says we got a plan to avert shutdown. So House Republicans tried and failed Thursday evening to fast-track a measure to keep the government funded through a maneuver that required a two-thirds majority pushing a government closer to a shutdown at midnight Saturday. Dozens of Republicans voted against the measure, while only 2 Democrats voted in favor. The final tally was 174 in favor and 235 against, and 1 present. Early Friday morning, the shutdown hours away, Speaker Mike Johnson told reporters at the Capitol he's expecting votes this morning, so stay tuned. We've got a plan, is what he's saying. They've always got a plan. So Trump backs new GOP plan to fund the government and lift the debt limit. President-elect Donald Trump announced success with a new plan to fund the government, lift and debt ceiling a day before a government shutdown. He praised Speaker Mike Johnson, but this is the one they killed, right? They did not. So the new plan would have kept the government running for 3 more months, including disaster assistance for hurricane-hit states and others, and allow more borrowing through January 30th. So this was going to be disaster help relief for the hurricane. No, we can't have that. No, we got to give it to Ukraine. That's where the money needs to go. Too much energy and negativity here later. All right, Tank Darla. Too much energy and negativity later. See you bye. Don't let the door hit you in the ass. Former Obama advisor says Donald Trump smarter than him and all his critics. So former advisor or Obama advisor Van Jones said during a recent interview that President-elect Donald Trump was smarter than himself and of his critics. Guys, can we just get this out? Donald Trump is not an idiot. Let me just be very clear. Donald Trump is smarter than me, you, and all of his critics. You know how I know? Well, because he has the White House, the Senate, and the House, the Supreme Court, and the popular vote, Jones said. You're just now realizing this, buddy? Oh, boy. Jones was asked by former CNN reporter 𝗧𝗵𝗶𝗹 during an interview on his YouTube channel about Trump's successful presidential campaign. He has a massive media ecosystem bigger than the mainstream built around him. And for him and a religious fervor and a political movement around him, and his best buddy is the richest person in the history of the world, and the most relevant Kennedy is with him, Jones added, this guy outsmarted all of us, he says. He did. But I say there's something even bigger at work here, and that is, just like I said, there's a machine behind Elon. Due to all the interviews I've done, the guests that I've had on, this is not something one man can simply do by reading the book Art of War or just by being a successful businessman. No. This is a man, in my opinion, that was invited by a much bigger shadow. You know what I'm going to say. I don't want to say it on here, but you know what I'm getting at. I think he's the front man of a band, of a much bigger band. Neil 𝗀𝗶𝗶𝗶, is it 𝗀𝗶𝗶𝗶? 𝗀𝗀𝗶, Neil 𝗀𝗶𝗶𝗶 is leaving Fox News after 28 years. 28 years of revolving shifts in business. So Neil 𝗀𝗀𝗶𝗶𝗶 is it 𝗀𝗀𝗶𝗶𝗶? That just doesn't sound right. Is leaving Fox News, folks. Longtime home of Fox after nearly 3 decades. Fox News paid tribute to the work of 𝗀𝗀𝗶𝗶𝗶. Why does that just sound funny to me? 𝗀𝗀𝗶𝗶𝗶, who has been with the cable network since his launch in 1996. In a statement provided by US Today on Thursday, Neil 𝗀𝗀𝗶𝗶𝗶's illustrious career has been a masterclass in journalism, and we're extremely proud of his incredible 28-year run with Fox News Media. Didn't he get sick or something like that? Wasn't he sick in the hospital for a while? Elon's brother owns a drone show company. Really, Victor? Interesting. See, a lot of you add so much more to my news reports. The chat is fire, man. I mean, you guys share so much information. I mean, just the fact that you all interact and do this together is what makes this show so big. Well, it's pretty big. But you guys do so much, and by going in the chat and talking with each other and sharing information, because there's a lot of shit I may get wrong, and you guys correct me. I'm not scared to be wrong, by the way. I'm not scared to be wrong. I'm wrong, and if I am wrong, you guys help me out. You catch it, and then I come on and correct it. But a lot of times it's because of you guys that help me correct my shit, you know? Yo. Chinese agent pleads guilty to operating secret police station in New York. A New York man has admitted to acting as an illegal Chinese agent by operating a secret police station for Beijing in Manhattan. Xi Jinping, he's 60 years old, U.S. citizen, pleaded guilty on December 18th for being very sneaky in front of the U.S. District Judge Nina Morrison, a development that prosecutors lauded at the latest progress in countering the Chinese regime's transnational repression scheme. Chen was of 2 individuals the FBI arrested in April 2023 over the illegal police station. I've heard about these Chinese police stations popping up all over America. I've heard there's quite a few of them. One of more than 100 identified overseas Chinese police outposts, Beijing operated globally, many here in the United States. He faces up to 5 years in prison. That's it? Really? You have people from J6 serving way more time than this guy. And this guy's a Chinese spy, proven to be a Chinese spy, and he's only getting 5 years. And then what, he gets to go back to China? And his food he wants. In World War III news, more ATACs 𝗬𝗃 Storm Shadow missiles launched at Russia as Putin threatens missile duel. I heard that Russia has already responded and it's getting really bad. The Kremlin on Thursday revealed that the day prior, Ukraine's military launched a U.S.-made long-range 𝗬𝗃 missile and 4 British-made Storm Shadow missiles against Russian territory. The projectiles targeted the southern Rostov region, with Russia's military saying its anti-air defense systems were able to intercept all 4 of the 𝗬𝗃 missiles and 3 of the 4 Storm Shadows. So I guess 1 hit. But I've heard since Russia has retaliated. Now I haven't got the. You might want to go look that up yourself. So Disney settlement with Donald Trump, Bob Iger, $60 million decision, fear at ABC News, and questions about 𝗬𝗂𝗋𝗶𝗶 future. So on the eve of jury trial of June 2017, Disney settled a defamation lawsuit tonight by a beef company for a whopping $177 million. The case stemmed for a series of ABC News reports in 2012 fronted by star anchor Diane Sawyer that dubbed the processed meat pink slime. At the time, it marked the largest settlement or jury award ever for a libel case and has since been eclipsed only by Alex Jones' $438 billion to Sandy Hook families and Fox News $707 million to that voting system. We know what that is. Fast forward to 2024, and 𝗬𝗃𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋𝗋 is now the face of ABC News and one of the highest paid anchors on the TV, making up to $18 million per year. And inside Disney C-suites of the Burbank lot, there was a feeling of deja vu thanks to a looming defamation lawsuit filed in March by former and incoming President Donald Trump, a far more powerful and strident adversary than a South Dakota food processor. Here we go. Here we go. They're saying this is going to be the Pink Slime sequel. Diddy and Jay-Z, folks. Let's get some Diddy news. Got to have the Diddy news. You all know we got to have the Diddy that, Diddy that, Diddy that, Diddy that, diddler. Diddy and Jay-Z. So attorney Tony Busby has filed a lawsuit against Rock Nation. I think that's Jay-Z's company. And lawyers Marcy Croft and Quinn Emanuel for what he says are violations of various state laws, including baratry. I think that's how you say it. Can I not spell? Can I not read? And impersonation of a public official. Busby alleges that they are intending to obstruct justice and prevent the Busby law firm from pursuing cases related to the Diddy litigation in New York. Busby claims their conduct was caught on tape. What's going to happen? I'm hearing through the grapevine, and I have my ears to the ground on this in Hollywood, that there's going to be a lot of names coming. They're not getting away. Not one person is getting away, and they're looking at jail time. And maybe, this could get, and as this progresses into 2025, this is going to get so much worse. Like, all their living nightmares is going to come true. Like, I'd be nervous if I even went to a party, if I even went to a white party or any of Diddy's events. I'd be nervous. I would not sleep. Because anybody can be named at this point, even if you're just there with somebody who did something wrong. This is going to get crazy. This is going to wrap up everybody very nicely, by the way. Georgia Appeals Court disqualifies Fanny Willis, motherfucker. Fanny Willis from the Trump election case. A Georgia Appeals Court disqualified Fulton County District Attorney Fanny Willis from the election-related criminal case against. You guys got to think, like, was this not the wrong move for her or what? Her life has become a living hell. This is how I know something's happening behind the scenes. And this is how we all know. It's so obvious. Her life now has been turned upside down, Fanny Willis, and she don't like it. She don't like it no more. She don't like it no more. Trump and his co-defendants were charged in 2023 by Willis' office for what they claimed was a scheme to overturn the results of the 2020 you-know-what. Trump and the remaining co-defendants pleaded not guilty, and now it's just coming back to bite her in the ass. Oh, man. I knew this was going to happen. I've said this. I've time-stamped this on my shows. I said, the boomerang, don't worry about Fanny. It's coming to get Fanny in her fanny. It's coming, man. So Governor Hochul announces another 250 National Guard troops deployed to New York City subways. Why? Is it that dangerous? My mind goes different ways with this. I'm like, is this how they're implementing the New World Order? Is this how they're going to do it? Is this how they're getting us to go along with it for our safety and get used to having military walking around on all the cities? Blame it on illegal immigrants. I wonder about that. I mean, is this how they're getting it in there? You can't help but think of it. If you have any kind of brain, you know that this is how they would do it, right? They would do it in a way that you'd be like, oh, well, there's a lot of crime and a lot of crazy homeless men at the subways and a lot of illegals here. And you know what? We do need the military walking around the streets. I mean, am I the only one that thinks this? Like, this is how they would do it if they really, where we would just welcome it with open arms and be like, well, we need to be protected. We need this. I'm against it. I don't want to see military on our streets. I don't. And if they are, it better be for a very short time. But I heard they're wearing civilian clothes. Fighting crime in the New York City subways is now getting more attention. This time, Governor Kathy Hochul, who announced on Wednesday that cameras are now on every subway car, reaching full coverage in the system ahead of schedule. The other part of the equation is the governor announced that during the holidays, an additional 250 National Guard members will patrol the subway system. It brings the number of National Guard members stationed at subway entrances to 1,000, a show of force intended to deter crime and to reassure riders. Are you all for this or against it? I'd like to know. What did my audience think? Are you guys for this? I mean, yeah, of course, we all want to be safer, but who brought in the immigrants? Who brought in all these people? Problem, reaction, solution? That's what I'm getting at. MSNBC viewers still haven't returned post-election. Will they ever come back? Probably not. So more than a month after November election, MSNBC's primetime audience, which dropped by more than half after Donald Trump's win, has still not returned. We'll see you later. Jeff Bezos saved around $1 billion in taxes by moving to a billionaire bunker, folks, in Florida. So financial experts predicted Jeff Bezos' move to Florida would pay off handsomely. And they were right. So far, the Amazon founder's tax-saving strategy has been astronomical, worth an estimated $1 billion this year alone. Could you imagine paying $1 billion in taxes? Since his move in the early 2024, Bezos has sold an estimated $13.5 billion worth of Amazon stock, according to Forbes magazine, with its lack of not only state income tax, but also a capital gains tax. Florida is much more friendly to billionaires like Bezos, who are selling off their assets, than his former home state of Washington, which recently enacted a 7% levy on long-term capital gains of more than $250,000. Had Bezos still lived in Washington when he sold his stock, he would have had a $954 million state capital gains tax bill, Forbes calculated, and may still owe around $3.2 billion to the federal government, depending on other deductions and credits. That's who's really the mafia here. I don't know. I mean, that's just so, this whole system is rigged against you, man. It's that you're playing the house. You're playing the casino house. They don't want you making money. They don't want you getting ahead in life. They want to keep you down. Do you guys think my skin's looking better from using the red light? I've been using it at about 20. I've kicked it up now to 20 minutes. I'm doing it about every other day. And I put on my meditation music and I just listen to like, you are worth it. You are good. You are a good person. You don't want to knock someone's head off. You're a very good person. You're good looking. You like yourself. You do like yourself. Now listen to my meditation. You are worth it. You are worth it. You can do it. Teamsters begin largest strike against Amazon, accusing company of insatiable greed. The Teamsters said workers will begin striking at Amazon facilities across the country Thursday morning. So that was yesterday. Is what the union calls the largest strike against the online shopping giant less than a week before Christmas. Perfect timing, right? It's crazy. Well, let's see where that goes. Let's get to financial news. Now, you know who's been spending a lot of time in Japan? Is Juanito has been to Japan probably like 10 times in the last 6 months. Japanese yen is getting hammered this morning, and it falls through the 157 level to the weakest level against the U.S. dollar since July. Jeez. They say when Japan gets a small cold, we get sick. Forecasting Bitcoin future price expectations for 2025. The crypto, I just have I don't know about Bitcoin, man. I'm XRP. I mean, now at this point, Bitcoin is so expensive to get into to own one coin. The cryptocurrency landscape has been a whirlwind of activity in recent years, marked by swift price movements, regulatory shifts, and the launch of groundbreaking initiatives. Amid the backdrop of constant change, the market's inherent volatility remains a source of fascination for crypto aficionados. As we step into 2024, Bitcoin stands as the undisputed leader of the digital currency world, experiencing dramatic peaks and valleys. By March 2024, Bitcoin's valuation soared to an impressive $68,497, boasting a market capitalization of $1.35 trillion, turning heads in the financial community. However, the journey of Bitcoin is fraught with rapid fluctuations, vigilance from investors. So in the late March, Bitcoin's price experienced a modest dip to 65,000, reflecting a 5.15% decline. But despite these challenges, Bitcoin has repeatedly demonstrated resilience, not only recovering from dips, but reaching new record highs. On March of 2024, it reached 70,000. Damn. What is it at right now? What is Bitcoin at right now? That's what I want to know. I'm still going with XRP and Dogecoin. I don't know. Those are just affordable, and I don't know. I really don't know how all this 103,000, that's where it's at 90. What is it? 103, 197, whatever. All the same to me. That's ridiculous. Market's doing good today. Yep, I agree with that statement right there. Egbert Stone. Supreme Court agrees to hear challenge of TikTok ban. The Supreme Court on Wednesday said it would take up TikTok's appeal challenging the federal law that could ban the popular social media app by next month. The court acted just a day after TikTok filed its appeal and will hear oral arguments on January 10th before issuing a decision on whether to put the law on hold. I got a feeling it's going to be put on hold. What do you guys think? I have a feeling. This one I put in here. I don't know if you guys saw the John Pounder's video I did with 2025 prophecy. Go back and watch it. It's really good. John Pounder's really laid it down. But I'm going to say this. Tornado touches down in Scotts Valley, closing Mount Hermon. So, there's a lot of controversy and conspiracy theories floating around Mount Hermon or Mount Hermon or whatever you want to say. The tornado touched down in Scotts Valley on Saturday afternoon, damaging cars and bringing down trees and utility poles and closing Mount Hermon road to traffic. The National Weather Service confirmed that a tornado hit Scotts Valley at approximately 1:40 p.m. Saturday. Meteorologist Matt Well told Lookout that initially the Weather Service picked up weak rotations in the storm system it was tracking and hesitated to declare that a tornado hit the city until it saw reports on social media showing a funnel cloud twisting through Scotts Valley. It's pretty crazy. I'm watching that, actually. I'm watching a lot about Mount Hermon or Mount Hermon. That's where supposedly the Nephilim are imprisoned, right? Am I saying that right? Yeah, David, the 2025 prophecy interview was crazy, right? I mean, look, I know a lot of people out here saying, you keep pushing it a year. It's just entertainment. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm just bringing it out there for my audience. You guys decide. It's interesting to talk about. It's kind of just like 2012. Everyone thought something big was going to happen in 2012, but I think something did happen in 2012. Now, I've told the story about how I hiked that pyramid after one of my fights. I fought in Cancun. I think this was in 2004. I hiked. We stayed at 𝗦𝗂. We stayed in the park illegally and hiked the pyramid in the middle of the night. Like, maybe not the middle of the night, maybe about 10 or 11. I can't remember exactly. Anyway, we scaled it. It's actually, you have to scale the fucking mountain, the pyramid. Got to the top, and there was an Indian elder up there smoking, and I couldn't see his face, nothing. It's a true story. And I sat and smoked a bowl with this guy, and he told me everything that was going to happen after 2012. And he told me that there's going to be a universal consciousness shift, and everything's going to happen 20 times faster than it ever had before. And that the pyramid, the levels of the pyramid were symbolic of spontaneous evolution, and every jump is shorter than the next. What used to take 4.4 billion years took 180 million years to 500,000 years to, and it goes up all the levels of the pyramid. And then at the very top of the pyramid at 2012, what took 4.4 billion years will take every 20 days. We're going to come into a new information age, which he said we would, and it would propel us into universal consciousness. And I think this guy was on the money. I don't know. I think so. That's what he said. It was that the world is not going to end. He said it was just going to be boom. It was going to just pick up rapid speed, like bam. I don't know. That's what universal consciousness is what he said. I don't know. You guys believe what you want. Colorado. Okay, let's get to what the fuck news and what the fuck news and what the fuck news. Colorado driver busted for DUI crashed. Explained to cops that he was a professional drinker. Sounds like something I would say. After causing a 3-car crash, a Colorado man whose blood alcohol content was later measured to over 4 times the legal limit explained to arresting officers that he was a professional drinker, according to the arrest report. Investigators busted Matthew Campman, a 34-year-old Denver resident, for driving under the influence, carelessly driving, and operating an uninsured vehicle following a Wednesday afternoon accident earlier this month. According to police, Campman, seen on the right, the picture was pretty funny, by the way, plowed his 2000 Nissan Sentra into the rear of a Subaru stopped in traffic on a street in Wheat Ridge, a Denver suburb. The Subaru was then lurched forward and hit a third car. When cops contacted Kentman, he allegedly smelled of booze, had bloodshot eyes, and his speech was slurred. When the officer asked another if there was indication of drug use on Kemperman's part, the suspect piped in, "No drugs, man. Just a lot of drinking. Kemperman would go on to explain that he was no amateur. Matthew told me that he was a professional drinker while slurring his speech. The cops have got to see a lot of crazy shit, right? He later described himself as a professional alcoholic while preparing to take a breath test that would eventually record a .326 BAC. Damn. I remember when I got I got an extreme DUI one time, and I think it was a .1 something. And they called that extreme. And that was in Scottsdale. The searcher cameraman who said he had to consume 10 drinks, they recovered an empty bottle of Jim Beam in his pants pocket. Police later, and I'm not laughing at this. This is obviously very serious, but this is the reason I quit drinking, is because I couldn't trust myself. Like, I thought I was smart, right? You want to hear what I did? True story. I really thought that I was going to game this system. So I had them put in a breathalyzer permanently in my truck. This was before I quit completely. But I thought I could game the system for a couple of years and just leave the breathalyzer in. I was like, you know what? What would stop me from drinking? I'll just put in a breathalyzer in my truck, so I have to blow every time I start my truck. And I put one in. And I thought, well, all right, this is going to make it to where I don't drive home drunk, so I can go and drink freely now. And that is when I realized seriously that I had a problem. And I was like, maybe it's time I quit completely and give this to God. And that's honestly what I did. So I did do that. And I've been 5 years this month, folks, 5 years sober. This month, December 26th, will be my first day sober. Would be my first day sober in 2019. So I'm going on 5 years. 5 years, no alcohol, not a drop. And there's times I think to myself, man, I could sure use a whiskey. That was my go-to drink, especially during the holidays. I used to love scotch and whiskey. I also enjoyed the occasional beer. So I thought, well, there's times I could go and have a couple beers here and there. But there's also those times, about 1 out of every 10, that I would go and get fucked up and black out and not know how I got home. And that alone is so scary to me that I'm like, man, I don't even ever want to risk it again. So here I am going strong, 5 years. My new outlet now is the podcast. You guys help keep me strong. You guys do. A lot of you guys have no idea. And, I do get the occasional troll, and I feel like, if there was a way I could, find them and take them out in a back alley and beat the shit out of them, that'd be such a gratifying feeling. But it's impossible, so I just block you, or I just kick you off my chat, or whatever I have to do just so I can have some peace of mind. But, in my day, man, this whole social media thing has opened up a whole new avenue of shit talking where people don't have to pay for it. You can literally write a check. Your ass doesn't have to cash. Not when I was growing up. That's not how it worked. If you talk shit, you're getting in a fight. And it didn't even matter how big. It didn't even matter. You got your face blasted. And that's how we used to handle shit here in the border. I mean, someone said something like some of the rude shit that I get on my ex. Man, if you were standing in front of me, bam, it'd be over, dude. It'd be over, and then you'd be hurt. It's the way I used to do it all the time, and I still do it that way, but I can't do it on social media, can I? So I have to find my inner chi, my inner Sancho. Or no, I cannot let my inner Sancho out. I have to keep it aside. I have to keep the inner Sancho inside. Ah! 5th year sober. Let's go. Awesome, man. Charlie Ward, man. I talked to Charlie Ward the other day. He's sober too. He's been sober. He gives me some of the credit. He said, "It wasn't for you, mate. I would have never done it." I think that's pretty cool. So Charlie Ward is sober. So congrats to Charlie. Hey, man. At this point, I think you get to a point where you just want to live a longer life, and you want to do it for your family. You want to do it for your family. And now that I'm 47, I'm fucking 47, I got to say that, I still have friends that they are such, you got to know what lap of the race you're in life. And I don't care if you're driving a Ferrari or a Lambo or a Volkswagen. You got to know what lap you're in life. You got to know what fucking lap you're in the race of life. And you just look like a dill hole at 40 and up if you're still going to bars and clubs. Sorry, dude. There's nothing cool about that shit. I don't. You don't think people are talking about you like, oh, that guy's fucking washed up boxer, fucking 40-something years old, still going to the bars. I didn't want to be that guy. Sorry. Did not want to be that guy. So, and I still have friends doing it, man. And they think it's total, I can control it. Nah. Can you really? Can you pay your bills? I remember when you were counting months. Wow, Sam Lam. Yeah, look at that. And you remember how hard it was for me? It was pretty fucking hard. And now I'm like, whenever I get that urge, I'm like, because don't ever think that urge goes away. It's kind of like my dad at 90 who still wants to get some pop, 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 right? Anyway, but the alcohol stuff is still there. I still think about going to like the bar, like the local watering hole, and just striking up a conversation and hanging out next to the fireplace and having a nice whiskey. That's what I think about, especially with the shit that I'm going through. But I got to stay strong. 5 years, here I am. I'm here, folks. I'm still here. I didn't hear no bell. All right, folks. I'm going to jump on with Christopher Key talking about this. Oh, my gosh. Does it make you this way? You know what way I'm talking about. I think that this has some validity to it. I do. I'm going to talk about it, and I'll put this up on ninoscorner.tv. All right, folks, get to ninoscorner.tv for the Black Friday special. It's not going to last many more days. It's going, and soon it'll be gone. All right, and the new heavyweight champion of podcasting and the black sheep of broadcasting, baby. The lone wolf. I do not care what other people say. But I just said I did, didn't I? I said I'd like to punch them in their face. So I just contradicted myself. I am a walking contradiction. All right, folks, I'm out. See you later. Peace.